Hi guys, Miss Saturn here, and we're on our third day of brainstorming ideas for the pieces, the genres we will be writing next week. And day 3 of brainstorming, we're going to talk about opinion and persuasive writing. So an opinion is something that you think or you feel. So we're going to talk about things we feel really strongly about today, things we want to change, our favorite things, our least favorite things. And remember, we are still in this writing process here. We're still in the first stage. We are brainstorming, right? We have our process here. We're still up here. We're just planning today for a different genre. Now we're doing opinion pieces. So let's take a look at our objective. I can brainstorm, still in brainstorming. I can study a student exemplar to notice the structure of the genre. So now we're talking about opinion pieces and how those are laid out. We're going to take a look at a sample in a second, the exemplar. Then I can come up with ideas for my writing by searching my everyday life experiences and making a list. Doing another list today, last day of brainstorming, and the next week we get to write. Yay! So let's take a look now at our exemplar so that we can finish filling out our nice types of writing chart today. So here we have Petra's writing her opinion piece. She chose to write about a book that she read and her opinion about something about that book, something she thinks or feels. So let's take a look at how it's laid out. Pay attention to the structure, what you notice about it, what the purpose of writing this was. Why did she write it? Think about that as I read. So it says Dork Diary Tales. That's the name of her book. From a Not So Fabulous Life should get the Hard to Be a Kid award. So that is her opinion. She thinks this book deserves an award. Being a kid can be hard, right? This book is written and illustrated by Rachel Renee Russell. It's a great book because it helps kids know that a new school doesn't have to be just scary. It can mean meeting lots of new and dorky friends, even when everything goes wrong. It all starts when Nikki moves to a new school called Westchester Country Day. She feels really scared and unhappy that she has to move to a new school because she misses her friends. It is really bad because she's the only one who does not have a cell phone. Nikki buys a phone to try to look cool, but then it isn't very cool. For example, when the CCP girls, they are cute, cool, and popular, see it. They scream, "Make it go away." They think it is really dorky. Another reason it is good is that bad things just keep happening. It is kind of a funny. The next bad thing is in gym class. When Nikki does make some friends, everything doesn't go perfect. Nikki finds Cole and Zoe. They help her get more comfortable in the school. But when it is time for the kids to do a dance routine in gym, it was supposed to be ballet, and they did a wacky dance instead. The substitute gym teacher was not happy. The friends felt terrible, but it sure was funny. When you are a kid, things can be really hard. Rachel Renee Russell knows that kids can really get their feelings hurt. But when a kid has friends, those friends can make things better. If you are a kid like Nikki, read this book and see how dorky friends can save the day. So that is her opinion about why this book that she read deserves the It's Hard to Be a Kid award. Now that we've read that, pay attention to how it was kind of laid out. How did her opinion or persuasive piece go? How did she convince us that this book really does deserve this award? Let's take a look back at our chart so that we can fill this out. All right, remember the genre is opinion and persuasive. We're working on this down here today. And the point of writing opinion and persuasive pieces, what do you think that is? Why do you think Petra wrote this piece? Pause this video to take a second to think. Right, the purpose of writing an opinion or persuasive piece is to convince someone about something, right? You want them to get on your side. You want them to believe what you wrote, right? Petra wrote this because she wants us to believe that this book deserves an award and we should read it, right? Because of that. So this was our exemplar, Petra's Dork Diaries, right? Opinion piece. And this is what we're going to study today. So now let's talk about the structure. How is it laid out, right? It might be similar to these other ways. I don't know if you've noticed this, but we normally start with what? If you said introduction, you've got it, right? Introduction. Think about how the rest of this story is laid out, or the rest of this piece, because it's a little bit different than our other books that we studied Wednesday and Thursday. So pause this video. How did Petra convince us that this book deserves an award? Pause the video to think. If you said that Petra gives reasons and then examples to support those reasons, you are right, right? She said things like, another reason it's good is that bad things just keep happening, right? That's a reason why she thinks this book deserves the It's Hard to Be a Kid award, right? Bad things keep happening in the school. And then she tells us examples about what happened, like when they tried to do that ballet dance, and then it actually turned out to be a wacky dance, and the gym teacher was mad, right? She said a reason is because it's hard to make friends, right? That's a reason why it is hard being a kid, okay? And then she talks about how the character wasn't cool when she got her phone, right? So she gave us reasons about why she stated her opinion. So I guess in the introduction, we can put introduction, which states your opinion, right? What you think or what you feel. Right, and she said, this book deserves the It's Hard to Be a Kid award. So that is her opinion in the introduction. Then she gave reasons that support her opinion and then examples to support those reasons. And last but not least, right, we always have a conclusion that wraps up, okay? So that's the structure of opinion and persuasive pieces. And now that you know that we need to plan, right? Because in our brainstorming process, we always have to plan, and we're going to do the same thing we've been doing, which is to create a list. So let's take a look at that now in our notebooks. So remember, write today's date, and this list is going to be, obviously, opinion or persuasive ideas. Yesterday we wrote information ideas, now we're going to write opinion persuasive ideas. And when we start this list, you really want to think about things in your life that you feel really strongly about. And a good way to start is by thinking about things that you love or things that you don't like, right? Things that you hate or dislike strongly, right? So think about your favorite things to do, your favorite foods, your favorite movies, your favorite books. That's a good starting place for a lot of this, right? In school, we talked a lot about our favorite books and things that we noticed in those books. So maybe one of my opinions that I begin with is my favorite book character. And I can put, my opinion is that my favorite book character, remember, an opinion is something that you think, right? I might think something different than you. That's okay. You just have to convince us. My favorite book character is Junie B. Jones. I love her. I'm going to give you reasons why I love her if I choose to write a persuasive piece. All right, that is my opinion. She is my favorite. She might not be yours, but she's mine. Okay, so that's my favorite book character. What else do I think? I think, well, I'm thinking of my favorite school I've ever been to, and my favorite school is Phillips Academy. My opinion about Phillips Academy is that it is the best school. So Phillips Academy is the best school. And then when I write about this, I'm thinking of reasons why it's the best if I choose to write this. Right? Oh, I keep doing it. Phillips is the best school, right? I'm thinking also, I'm not just thinking of my favorite things, I'm thinking of my least favorite things too. And I know that my least favorite season is summer. So I'm going to say, in my opinion, summer is the worst season. I know a lot of you might not think that because I know a lot of people love summer, but I can think of a lot of reasons why it's the worst. Summer is the worst season. That's my opinion. You don't have to agree with me, but I can write a nice opinion piece about this with good reasons and examples. I'm thinking back to maybe what I think you also might want to think, not just things that are your favorite or least favorite, but you might want to also think about things that you want to change in the world. So I'm going to show you, if you get stuck on ideas, this graphic organizer that might help you come up with some more ideas as well. Okay, so we talked a little bit about favorite things. That's a nice section there for you. And things that what are some things that you want to change in the world, in school, at home, throughout the world? And when I think of school, in my opinion, what I want to change is I want to give kids more recess, right? I think that kids should have more recess. That's my opinion, right? I'm also thinking maybe we need to take better care of the environment. My opinion is that I think every single person should recycle. That's another thing I'm going to add to my list. Right. Also, feel free to use these last two boxes, things that you think are really important in the past, right? That made a difference in our lives, and things from right now, some of the greatest things that are invented. You think that could be an opinion you have. Maybe you think the best video game is this, or the best toy or movie, right? So feel free to use this graphic organizer to help you. We also have another nice tool here to help you, sentence starters. I saw this one here, blank is better than blank, because that's a good opinion starter. And I immediately thought back to Miss Moran's speech that she made about Captain America being the best Avenger. And I was like, I don't know about that, Miss Moran. I think I could write a piece saying that I think Thor is better than Captain America, and I'm going to show you why. So I'm going to add that to my list as well. So I think Thor is better than Captain America. There's another one opinion I have. Okay, so now I have tons of ideas. Try to come up with 5 to 10 ideas today. Shoot for 10, but you got to have at least 5. Because next week, if you choose to write about one of these pieces, you really want it to be strong, and you want to have a lot of options just in case one idea doesn't work out like you thought it would. So remember, writers, we're still brainstorming. Next week, we'll begin the second step of the writing process. So let's recap our goals today, because we're still brainstorming. We studied an exemplar to notice how opinion pieces are laid out, their structure, and then we came up with ideas for your writing piece by searching your everyday life and making a list. So go make that list. That is your job today. And then over the weekend, start thinking about which idea that you came up with this week from all 3 days you really want to start writing about next week. Good luck, writers.